we have so many digital only banks coming up. We have really good digital bank offerings from the banks out there. Why is there a need for a service like this?
Well, it's really quite simple. And this is the reason why we are called a Standard Chartered Nexus, right? Some people ask why is it Nexus. Now, there are many complications in setting up a digital bank, and some people will have the appetite for getting a license on their own, setting up the stack from scratch, and building the business from and the book from scratch. Most people won't, right? Most institutions or organizations won't. So the reason we are called Nexus is because we are a confluence, essentially a nexus of sorts of a few points of interest. The first is from the perspective of the regulator. By offering the services via a chartered account, a charter holder such as Standard Chartered, it allows for the regulator to be assured that the key controls and measures will be in place, as with any other license holder, and the key reports will be in place to the regulators. For the regulators, nothing changes. The central bank continues to regulate the banks the way it has always done, and but yet create a new scalable models that also pushes the agenda for multiple things such as financial inclusion, such as innovative digital banking products. For the bank, it creates an incentive and a scalable model for customer acquisition and balance sheet growth exponentially without having to invest in branches and sales staff and all the fun stuff that we used to do in the 1980s and 1990s. For the partners. In our case, we call them partners. In other cases, customers. The digital platforms that become banks via this mean. Essentially, it's an easy way to do it without having to go through the pain of applying for a charter, setting aside capital, building out the stack from scratch, putting it together via multiple vendors, and then doing multiple testings and alpha, betas, whatever you want to term them to get to production and getting to life. And on top of that, setting aside a whole bunch of money to acquire, retain, and build that business. Most people start without knowing how painful it is to become a bank, and then as part of that journey, they learn about that. And finally, for the customers, the end users themselves, this a collaboration of this sort really creates the ability for them to experience a hyper contextualized kind of banking, right? Because the essence of the collaboration between a bank and a digital ecosystem like what we do at Nexus, that essentially creates the ability, well, mandates the ability for data sharing from the digital platform to the bank in order to set up and change the way the bank onboards and underwrites an individual, as well as offer products within the customer journey on the digital ecosystem itself. For example, just to bring this to life to you, let's say you are a user of a e-commerce app who has partnered with us, and then what you are accessing is the e-commerce banking capability, so to speak. Now, nothing stops us, therefore, from using that e-commerce database to be able to offer you timely products as you check out, as you peruse products, and or as you make payments. So that really changes the way customers experience banking, not just from a retail, but possibly from an MSME standpoint as well.
Oh, that is amazing. So I can call this as a win 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 win. Regulators win, they are assured that the platform is taking care of all the regulatory stuff. Banks acquire customers at a much lower cost. Partners can offer embedded finance. Customer get a hyper contextualized experience. So this sounds like a very good proposition. Now